Uganda is losing a lot of money due to waste-related issues. About R1 trillion annually due to waste-related issues. Because what we have in Kiteezi is not a landfill. What we have in Kiteezi is a dumping site. I don't see any landfill in Uganda. A landfill must have full landfill engineering technology, and which we are not doing. And then amount of waste, that waste can be turned into wealth. We have methane there, which can be tapped and be used. We have so many other gases that can be tapped and be used. We even recommended that investors should be encouraged to come and tap that waste so that we can use that money to turn that waste into energy. And this is what we agreed as a country. But the speed at which these things are taking place is so slow. Then number two, there are a number of projects, including projects from the World Bank, which were implemented for waste management in Kampala by KCCA. If you do tracking of those projects, you are likely to see that the monies were not well spent on waste management in Kampala. And that is why today we are suffering the impact of the waste management in Kampala. This is an early warning and a learning point to us, because these wastes are already blocking our channels, causing a lot of floods and health-related issues. Another early warning, which I must give as I present on this Kiteezi landfill, is the wetlands in Luzira and Port Bell. Should you remove that wetland and that in Luzira and Port Bell, you will see the waters of Lake Victoria coming to Kampala. All these hills, one day, you will see them in the island. I really want to give this early warning the same way we gave early warning on Kiteezi landfill. So, fast track. Honorable members, my prayer is that we must fast track the alternative land, and the alternative land must have a fully fledged landfill engineering. Although landfill is outdated, but in Africa we can still use if it is with the engineering. And then the materials which we can tap from there, like methane, carbon dioxide, we can tap them and turn the waste into energy. That Kiteezi landfill can generate about 6.5 megawatts of electricity, the same size of Nyagak 3. So you see the material we are spending in Nyagak 3, and yet we can tap electricity from here, 6.5 megawatts. So we really, and then it brings me to the issue of corruption. There are many investors who are coming to the Ministry of Energy. They want to turn waste into energy. When they charge, like, when they give the cost of doing that business, some people want to, that figure inflated. That should stop if we really want to manage this economy. I want to thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Kajwenje.
And truly, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, this is a disaster. My question to the Minister and the Minister for Kampala, I have not heard anywhere the two statements address us on policy. Where is our policy on waste management and disposal? Right Honorable Minister, it's not only Kampala. There is Kiteezi waiting to happen in every other city around this country, in every other municipality and trading center and town council. Where is our policy in as far as waste management is concerned? And if we cannot manage Kiteezi, which is a national disposal, a national center for disposal, then how ready are we to manage other Kiteezis in other areas? Right Honorable Speaker, let me say this. And this policy would now point us to planning and budgeting and adoption of modern waste management and disposal. I have seen, because when it rains in Uganda, because waste is just dumped, it's not inside, it is carried away. We end up inhaling and drinking this dirty water. So the disaster management policy must be highlighted here, and this is the place for it. This is what we should be demanding. Not budget, because budget must point to a policy, must point to a plan, must point to a strategy that we must fund. Incineration. Our town councils, Right Honorable Speaker, majority of the waste that we have in Kampala is actually transported from up country. Why should we bring in pills to Kampala, agricultural things? If that policy was there, that would be managed at source. I want the minister and the two ministers to address this House on the policy formulation and disposal. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Taylor.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on 3 separate occasions, we have presented potential investors who are willing to turn the Kiteezi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I concur with the submission of my colleague Taylor.
Procedure, Honorable.
But
there is a procedure matter. Now, take your seat. There is a procedure matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You added.
Now, we handle issues of the emergency. Because I know this issue requires extensive investigations. You have heard like the issues raised by the Honorable Mwada. They are not issues you cannot just either take on their face value or dismiss when there are issues being raised by the community. So all these issues need to be investigated. So can we, honorable colleagues, can our debate help guide in as far as handling the emergency situation for now is concerned? And then I will guide at the end on what we are going to do. Honorable Abdallah Chiwanuka?
that route. And the immediate parish, that is Dondo, which is bordering Mukono and Chira municipality. It is a densely populated parish, and 10 years back when KCCA purchased this land, it very well knew that the area has people. They were never notified about their intention to use the land. The land was gazetted as purely a residential area. And we are imagining shifting disaster from Kampala to our area. We don't know how the government does its work, but few weeks back, we are here debating about the forceful eviction, which happened in Uviji. Now here is the catastrophic eviction, which is happening at Kiteezi. The way forward, Honorable Minister, Dundu is purely gazetted by Mukono District as a residential area. We are ready to accommodate those people. You shift them to Dundu and retain the land, shift all the machines to Kiteezi, then shifting the problems. As you are cleaning Kampala, you are dirtening Mukono. We can't contemplate, and we are not ready to receive and accept your garbage and waste. That is the position of, it is very unfortunate, Right Honorable Speaker. We tried several times to engage the minister, to engage the directors at KCCA. Several people, as Honorable Taylor has stated it, are ready to invest in waste. Are ready, and they are approaching us, ready to invest in the waste. But the investment which the government is willing to accept, for example, in power, the tariff is 5 cents. Colleagues, you are well aware that Kachira contributes on the national grid, and they are contributing at 8 cents. And recently Karuma at 18 cents. Why this one frustrating this investment at 5 cents? You can easily know that.
Karuma at 18 cents? I think you need to get your facts right.
I'll cross-check that. Honorable Speaker.
Karma shouldn't be more than 5 US cents per kilowatt hour.
Yes,
4.7 US cents per kilowatt hour. Not 8.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that correction. So, as a way forward, we have already proposed in the compensation mode to shift these people to Dundu on that land which is purely gazetted as a residential land, and you also do a survey with Singapore. We have some few years back, we are ahead of Singapore. Singapore, how it has managed to do with the waste management. We can take a field visit to Singapore, or even in Rwanda, how they have managed it. Some people here had to compare us with Rwanda, but please accept and go and you learn some few lessons from Rwanda, how they have managed to do with waste. Maybe with that we can, even you don't need big land. You can do that management at 10 acres, even if it is a big city like Kampala. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable question.
Regular monitoring of effluent and the receiving environment. I mean the receiving environment. So NEMA had advised by 2013, from 2013, the contractors were not licensed to continue using the landfill. So, Right Honorable Speaker, NEMA does not have enough money to enforce. But in the environment and impact assessments of these contractors, they pledged that they would fulfill some of the requirements using their money. So we are wondering, if they did not use the money to fulfill the requirements, Right Honorable Speaker, I don't believe in a blame game, but there must be some people responsible for compensating the loss and losing some of their monies and also losing their jobs and also losing the contracts. So there are some responsible institutions that have to report back to us. Right Honorable Speaker, Kiteezi, with all the standards, is not a landfill. And I have shared the NEMA regulations on landfill on your WhatsApps, you can check. And if you try to qualify, actually, in Uganda, we don't have any appropriate landfill. And let's use this scenario to check ourselves and even check in our local governments. Because this is an eye-opener. We don't need to lose more people. Right Honorable Speaker, we are supposed also to go in some preventive mechanisms. Waste collection at source. All of us must go and sensitize our people on the need for us to collect garbage while separating this garbage. We cannot look at these technologies that our colleagues are proposing when we still have the catchment of waste in totality. Plastics must be different, organic waste must be different, but when you go to Kiteezi, actually those Chinese were collecting Buvera. That's what they told me. That is why even why KCCA doesn't do. They were collecting plastics like any other company. So it is very important at the moment to look at the budget over enforcement of some of these provisions, especially to NEMA and the KCCA. Every time NEMA was reminding KCCA, KCCA would respond that there are no funds. And so we are supposed to take waste management as a priority for the city. Likewise, the issue of sewage management. We always talk about National Water and Sewerage Corporation, but most of our emphasis has always been on water and little on sewage. These are national issues. As climate change activists, we cannot leave our community to be exposed to methane to this level. Now the eruptions were underneath. What could happen if the eruptions were in the atmosphere? Members, this is a challenge to all of us, and let's task all our institutions to be responsible, and also our practices from household level as the source of garbage to be cognizant of waste management. I thank you.